For October the 6th, 2025, we remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation. Lord, we look at the homeless and the sick and get them back into society as quickly as possible. We ask you to look at our first responders, our police, our fire, EMTs, and all those that protect us on 24/7. Also, I'd like to have the grace from the standpoint of looking at the armed forces folks, especially those in our particular neighborhood in our area, from the standpoint of watch over and protect them. And what we do tonight, we do for the good in the entire city and not for anyone's particular interest or anyone's particular project. And we do all of this in your name. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome. I have Belinda Nitschke taking the minutes tonight, our city clerk. Mr. Frank Wickman from Wickman Associates here as our attorney. Welcome to you as well. If you'll call the roll, Belinda, please.
Mr. Barledge.
Here.
Mr. Messmer.
Here.
Mr. Rule.
Here.
Mr. Shriver.
Here.
Mrs. Spears. Dr. Spilly.
Here.
Mr. Thielen.
Here.
We have a quorum this evening. I'd like to welcome the council members as well. It looks like we're going to get a little rain tonight, but we need it as well. Tonight, as we always have on the agenda, citizens wishing to be heard. That's not on the legislative agenda tonight, and from the standpoint of if you've got something that you'd like to discuss later, we can do that as we get into the meeting that's on. If not, I would ask everybody to look at the agenda this evening. Is there anything that you'd like to rearrange on the agenda or add to the agenda? We can do so. If not, then I'll present to you September the 15th, 2025, council minutes. Need a first and a second, then any discussions thereafter.
Make a motion to approve.
Jamie? Okay.
I'll second.
Joe? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Rule.
Yes.
Mr. Messmer.
Yes.
Mr. Barledge.
Yes.
Mr. Shriver.
Yes.
Dr. Spilly.
Abstain.
Mr. Thielen.
Abstain.
The minutes for September the 15th stands as presented in 2025. I guess I'm up to bat here this evening, which is great. Just from the standpoint of the Kentucky League of Cities just had their annual convention from the standpoint of the legislative agendas that they approved in the meetings. We were in Owensboro last week for a couple of days from the standpoint of presenting to the board of the Kentucky League of Cities and looking at the legislative issues from the standpoint of we're going to have to be very cognizant of what's going on. From the standpoint of the first one on the agenda is the revenue diversification. I'm not going to go down. They ended up with 25 of them. We can make a copy and put in your baskets from the standpoint of as we get lower down on the list. Of course, the urgency is not that important, but the ones that are very important from the standpoint is the number 2 is the city and the county occupational license and insurance premium tax credits that they want the state to take over from the standpoint they start collecting the taxes starting whenever this can be approved. But at the same time, as you know, they tried that last year and that did fail from the standpoint it did not get too much traction, but again, they're going to go pursuing it again and want the state to take over on all collection of the occupational license and insurance premium tax. The other thing that's very important to everyone, a lot of folks, is number 3 is the restaurant tax. The restaurant tax, there are some litigations that have been in place in Hazard, Kentucky from the standpoint they couldn't do any restaurant tax collection. That was overturned. But again, the restaurant tax is going to come again. The road fund allocation is coming up again from the standpoint of reducing or doing something with the road fund allocations to, from the standpoint of the decrease is happening in the road fund because of the electric cars. From the standpoint the revenue is not being generated as it has been in the years gone by. So they're going to look at newspaper publication reform. As you know, we were able to put in a lot of things in the newspaper from the standpoint of your budgets and things of this nature. That's going to be talked about again. Alcohol licensing and regulatory license fee entity. We have a hand in that as well with all the liquor stores involved. Utility franchise agreements, tax incentive financing, transit room tax, and web-based platform. And number 10 is EMS fee collections. EMS is fee collections. That was discussed a little bit in some of the legislative sessions that we had. It was a breakout, and that from the standpoint of maybe coming out with maybe a centralized location on that. We don't know, but those are the top ones on the list. So we're going to have to play and be very vigilant from the standpoint of what's coming up and what's coming forth in this legislative session. And I say that from the standpoint that the legislative session this year is basically more of a yeah, got all this paperwork here. Starts January the 6th, 2026. It'll end April 15th, 2026. And of course, you've got the different things throughout the legislative days. You've got the holidays in there. Your bills can be introduced in March, and the Senate, March the 4th. The House bills, concurrent days, and then you got the vetoes in April the 2nd to the 13th. And then there's a recess, but then the finals goodbye is April 15th. So we've gotten from January the 6th until April 15th with this much longer session from this go around. So we got to be a little more involved, and we will be involved as we get there. I do want to say that from the standpoint we have Emma Wilson. She's now helping out. She's in the new Kentucky League Government Affairs team member. She's helping out Grace Kelly. And we met those folks last week, and I'm very impressed from the standpoint. I take my hat off to these. They're attorneys. They're very young, very professional, and they really know their stuff. They really can crack the whip down there. So we're really looking forward to their helping us out from the standpoint on the legislative issues that will be forthcoming. We did have the Municipal Government League meeting the other evening. Dave Hatter, from the standpoint of the mayor of Fort Wright, of course, he's in cyber works, and that's his guru that he works in. He put on a presentation in regards to the cyber effects that are happening within the country and throughout police department, fire departments, and even other corporations as well, from the standpoint that how to keep things straight. And he has come up, of course, with a number of ideas, and there are factors that you can have backup sources from that, but he was stressed on the Municipal Government League that evening from the standpoint of the council members that we had from Campbell County, Kenton County, and Boone County. We had a full crowd that listened to the cyber presentation from Dave, and it was very, very well done on that one as well. Jumping in, if you want to mark your calendars, is City Day and City Night for the Kentucky League of Cities. They always have that everybody can get together to meet the senators and the representatives. That's February the 25th of 26. So we're all invited to go to that as well. So if you can spare the time and do that, that is a very enjoyable evening to meet with the senators and the representatives throughout the state. We did have the other evening at the mayor's meeting, we talked about the Kenton County Public Safety Training Center. I think we talked about this earlier from the standpoint of the fire department is kind of aware of it, but this is basically the Fire Chiefs Association has started this from the standpoint that it's their little sideshow from the standpoint, I shouldn't say sideshow, but with what they're trying to do is have a building down there and down by 3L Highway. And from the standpoint, they've gotten some money already approved to get the site work presentation. They're going to be soliciting for more funds from the standpoint of finishing the building. But again, that's going to be a training session that they would like to get up and running from the standpoint of helping all the counties, Boone, Kenton, and Campbell County. and in the fire training end of it as well. Let's see here, what else do I have? I guess that's about it that I've got forth. The other thing that we're going to do is from the standpoint, as you know, we're in the fourth phase of our Dudley construction and Charter Oak, and beginning Friday, this Friday, we were going to shut down Charter Oak, the entire road from the standpoint going out to Dudley. And there will be signs that will take you down to Sandalwood up to Magnolia, or you can continue on if you want to go on the back roads. But that will be shut down from Friday until Tuesday morning. And they're doing that basically. The fall break is at Hinsdale from Friday and will be until Monday. And the contractor basically said he needs those days that he can do all the milling operations, do all the line striping, and do all the signalization in that period of time. If that could not be accomplished from the standpoint, it would be another 2 to 3 weeks before we could even have anything really done in that particular section. We will put it on Facebook, we'll put it on Twitter, we'll do a lot of announcing, and we'll actually have some signs posted this week from the standpoint that we'll be closing Charter Oak from the standpoint that they will not be able to come out and to the end of Dudley on that end of it. So basically, and they will do all the milling and then all the new asphalt and do all the lines. The traffic lights will go in, as we all talked about earlier, from the standpoint with the signalization. There will be a few from the standpoint of going to Dudley and to Charter Oak to the right. That signalization light will not be in place because of the wiring that we have to go across with the poles. It's too heavy for that additional, but you'll be able to turn right into Charter Oak from Dudley after the striping and everything is done. The poles, as we know, are not coming until maybe February, March of next year. And of course, then they'll come in and they'll put in all the new signalization, and they'll be able to hold the lights has to be installed in there to create the flow of traffic, but the flow of traffic will flow from the standpoint through the school session, from the standpoint with what we have up there on a temporary basis. But again, this coming Friday, from the standpoint through Monday until Tuesday morning, that entire road section will be closed so that he can get in, they can mill that particular area, and they can put the new asphalt and the new striping down on that area. So
it will be closed Friday, Saturday, and Monday, 9 a.m. to about 4 p.m., only during work hours,
Yeah.
and then they'll move out of the way and open it back up. It won't be completely closed for the entire 3-4 days. They'll open it back up, and on Sunday it'll just be open because they're not working.
And we're not Dudley, they'll be signal.
On Charter Oak.
Charter Oak, Jeff. Yeah.
Just that little section of Charter Oak back so they can get all of that construction done and get the turn and everything in.
So are they gonna do the asphalt for the whole intersection?
Yeah.
They're not sure they can get it all completed in those days, but they'll only be left with putting the asphalt down. That'll be the last thing that they have. But getting in that intersection, if they can close the road down, it'll shorten it by 1.5 weeks to 2 weeks, because they won't have to deal with traffic flows and get out of the way during school hours when school's in or out. So this way they just shut it. They have Friday, Saturday, Monday, and that whole section there on Charter Oak will be completed.
But the light after this, the light that is a turn light to go into Hinsdale if you're going,
Yeah, so the lighting, the way it used to be, will be back that way.
Okay.
I don't believe there will be a turn on Charter or on Dudley going west to turn into Charter Oak yet, because we'll have to wait till the originals come. But there will be a turn lane, so they'll be able to still turn on green and get out of the way. It just won't be a turn lane for them to do it. So we'll have to wait to get some of the turns, have signaling for the turns. But other than that, all the lanes will be back open. Everything will flow the way it will flow from now on. And then when the new poles come in, then they can hang the extra light heads on them for the extra weight to have all the turn signals working correctly. And I'll instruct them to take the 2 panels of the fence down when we do our walkthrough on Wednesday before we close out the road. So as that additional traffic's flowing, those panels are out so people can see, and we don't have any issues with that much traffic flowing out.
I think,
You mean Magnolia or?
Yes.
Yeah, we're coming out of Magnolia. Yeah.
There's a couple panels that really block, so we'll just take the two down to see if that helps. It's not that steep right there, the wall's not, so I think we can do away with this.
I think it may be good if folks can drive approaching the intersection heading east. We may need to add some sort of an alert signal, like a flashing, like prepare to stop, because there's a tree and the road now has a pretty good turn to it and it's blind.
Okay.
So if people are even just going the speed limit, which we know everybody does,
Yes.
when you come around that turn, you know, if you
All
don't
of a
see
sudden,
cars stacked, if you don't see brake lights, you may have to come to a pretty abrupt stop.
I'll mention that on Wednesday when we do our walkthrough and have the engineers look at it and see if,
Something similar to what they do on 17, where
It-
like
is it-
once it's flashing, get ready
so
to
when we
start
look
braking.
at it, do you think it's possible that we can even trim the tree, or is it like in the yard? It's not out
Oh,
in the
it's-
right of way, right?
Yeah, I've seen Cincinnati Bell and Duke trim trees, but
Well, I don't want to do that. if
It
it's
would-
not- But if it
yeah.
was out in the road area, we would just trim it.
no, it's literally, to me, I didn't put an azimuth
I'm
on it or
assuming what we would
anything,
do
but
is
it's in
on
their front
that
yard.
right permanent pole, we would mount, like you said, a light,
It's just a flasher, yeah.
just a flat,
Prepare to
whatever it
stop.
is, it says prepare to stop, right?
Yeah.
We'll look
And
at
I'm
it.
not sure what we'll do. The mayor was telling me today, and I've ignored it apparently, but there was a little sign up there originally that said no turn on red.
Yeah. Charter
And
Road.
so I don't
You
think,
could never turn on.
I was like, I
People turn.
never paid attention to that. and
It's been there all.
I'm not sure everyone
It's
has
been there
ever
for
paid
years.
attention to
Been
it, but
there
we
for
won't
years.
put that back up.
I
because we have a
know,
turn
maybe
lane
they're
now.
now, because but.
We
it's
took it
for-
all
for
down.
The
years.
stop line was so far back from the intersection, you'd have to go into the intersection to make
Yeah.
that right-hand turn, so that makes sense. I understand why it was
I
there.
never turned right on a Charter Road, on red or green. to be
Yeah.
honest with you, so.
So we'll clean that up as well. But
Well-
it is going well.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Did you have anything?
No, sir.
Okay.
And again, I'd like to say thanks to everybody from the standpoint, the Touch-A-Truck was a good success. We had a good crowd on Saturday. A lot of little trinkets. We got rid of a lot of running shirts that we had left over from the last few years. And we gave it to the kids from the standpoint that they were little night shirts. They could get in and snuggle in those big shirts and enjoy themselves. So again, thanks to everybody for all their help in putting that on as well. There's a lot behind the scenes. With that, I'll jump into ordinances, and we have an ordinance 2025-09-06, which is the fiscal year of 25-26, which is property tax rate. And this would be the second reading, and I'll refer to Mr. Wickman, please.
Yes, sir. It's ordinance number 2025-09-06. The title is an ordinance of the City of Edgewood in Kenton County, Kentucky, providing for the assessment of all real estate and personal property within the corporate limits of the City of Edgewood that's subject to taxation thereby for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2025, ending on June 30th, 2026, providing for the payment, collection of such taxes and penalties and interest thereon, and describing the purposes for which such taxes so collected shall be appropriated and used. The state statute requires the ordinance to be read by its title and summary. And the summary is that the ordinance provides for the assessment of this by the city of all real and personal property within the city by the use of the last annual assessment thereof by the Kenton County Property Valuation Administrator. It levies and imposes ad valorem taxes on that property for the fiscal year ending on June 30th, 2026, in the amount of $0.185 for each $100 of the valuation of real property, and $0.173 for each $100 of the valuation of personal property. The ordinance also provides the procedure for the collection of such taxes by the city clerk, including a discount of 2% thereof if paid before November 31st, 2025. A due date for the taxes of December 31st, 2025, and a penalty of 10% and interest of 12% if paid after the due date. The ordinance also provides for a lien on the property so assessed to secure the payment thereof, and provides that the purpose and use of such taxes shall be not described in the general fund, and the taxes will be deposited in the general fund.
Mr. Rookland, thank you very much. I need a motion on this and a second on this, and any discussions, but this is
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2025-0906,
Jeff?
fiscal year 2025-26 property tax rate.
All right, Jeff. Second, Rob. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Shriver?
Yes.
Mr. Thielen?
Yes.
Mr. Bartlett?
Yes.
Mr. Messmer?
Yes.
Mr. Rule?
Yes.
Dr. Spilly?
Yes.
Approval has been given ordinance 2025-09-06 on the fiscal year 25-26 on the property tax rate. I want to say thank you very much to everyone as well, and we appreciate, we'll be working toward the efforts again in 26, save money and work as diligently as we can. I also have ordinance 2025-09-07, amendment to the alcohol beverage sales hours. This is second reading. Mr. Wickman.
It's an ordinance of the City of Edgewood in Kenton County, Kentucky, amending the provisions of ordinance 1992-18 of the city as previously amended from time to time and now codified as section 112.10 of the Edgewood Code of Ordinances to revise the hours when the real sale of alcoholic beverages are prohibited by the city. And by summary, the ordinance prohibits the retail sale of distilled spirits, wine, or malt beverages in the city of Edgewood by the drinker package during the period of time after 2:30 a.m. and before 6 a.m. on every day except Sunday, when such sales are prohibited during the period of time after 2:30 a.m. and before 8 a.m.
This being the second reading, I need a motion and a second to approve the alcoholic beverage hours.
Make a motion to approve it.
Jamie?
Second.
Dr. Spilly? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Rule?
Yes.
Dr. Spilly?
Yes.
Mr. Bartlett?
Yes.
Mr. Messmer?
Yes.
Mr. Shriver?
Yes.
Mr. Thielen?
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-09-07 for the amendment of the alcohol beverage sales hours passes. Thank you very much for that. With that, we have some up-and-coming events coming. We have Spooky Sunday is coming October the 19th, 4 p.m. at President's Park, and they'll be joined, or we can join everybody at 3:45 at St. Pius and walk over to the park from the standpoint, which will start at 4 o'clock, which will be the costume parade, and of course there'll be the costume judging, and of course there will be bags and candy from the standpoint they'll be handed out as well. Beetlejuice will be there as well, and I think we're having another guest, are we not?
We're having Bob.
We're having Bob.
Bob from Beetlejuice.
Bob, okay, I just,
Beetlejuice.
that's right. So anyway, we're having a number of guests that afternoon as well, and of course the judging of the contest, and we'll have Beetlejuice from the standpoint of putting on a magic show afterwards at the basketball court. And I know we will have a crowd full of people as well, and so come again, October the 19th, and that's from 4 o'clock starting at President's Park. Fall chair yoga starts October the 22nd at 11 in the morning at Liberty Hall. This event is free, but please register if you can. They just have, from the standpoint of the head count, we've had a number of folks from the standpoint on that chair yoga. It's really a success, and that's October the 22nd, and that's starts at 11 in the morning. And then last but not least is a trick-or-treat in Edgewood. It's Friday, October the 31st, and that's from the 6 until 8 p.m. If you have your light on, from the standpoint that indicates that you are accepting the folks to come and knock on your doors for trick-or-treats. But if your light is not lit, certainly the children will go on to the next house, to the next establishment. So again, come and enjoy October the 31st on the trick-or-treat, and join from 6 until 8, and need to have your light on. I guess I'll open up the council. Is there anything from council? Any discussions before we closed tonight? If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Dr. Silly,
Second.
and second by Rob. All in favor?
Aye.
Not in favor? Good night, boy.
I'll try to call you tomorrow.
Look forward to
My day is a little low.